it's never gonna be that way.
Guys, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Thank you. How are you feeling? Is it your first time in Dublin?
I've been Dublin quite a few times, actually.
Okay, nice. How are you
Not
finding?
my first time either. I love it.
Okay, good. Guys, we're going to have a little Q&A session. We have some questions here. I'm just going to kick it off nice and light. I'm sure, like me, everyone else is kind of wondering, what does a day in the life look like for you guys? So a bit about yourselves. What do? You want to intro yourselves, what you do, and then what a day in the life looks like.
Okay, so a day in life, it's a day and night, actually.
Okay.
As in, it's a very 24-hour operation. Like, we're more or less like a startup, if you want to put it like that. Like, we're very excited that we exist, and because of that, we kind of are trying to form an identity. All of our artists really matter to us. So across the team, we're always in kind of conversation about releases, how they're doing as people, different things that are happening across the company, budgets, and making sure everyone's aware of what we're doing. And for me, like, I like to stay quite close to the music. So we've got an amazing A&R team. They're all here. And it's just talking to the guys about what our artists need and listening to loads of music and forming opinions across the team. And then obviously all of the asset stuff that are getting built, like from artwork to videos, there's conversation about all of that on a regular basis. So it's non-stop. It's a lot of things.
Lots of things.
Many things.
Awesome. And for yourself?
The same, really. No 2 hours are the same, let alone days.
Yeah.
So lots of, the best bit is always listening to music, spending time with the team, getting excited by that, and talking to our friends around the world, especially our friends in Ireland, Dublin. So lots of conversations, listening to music, and then decisions.
Awesome.
Yeah, man.
So you mentioned that, like, obviously your artists are very important to you. You guys take the time out to have those conversations or whatever. Before you get to that stage of actually, being an artist, I'm sure a lot of people here, there are artists in the crowd. We have creatives, different people doing their own thing. But what would you guys look for before you sign an artist? Like, what are those? Is there like a special thing that you would look for when you're signing an artist?
Every artist is different. So it's quite difficult to kind of summarize what that one special thing is that makes us get excited about wanting to work with someone. Sometimes it's always got to be a talent that we feel like more people need to hear at different stages. It might be a beautiful voice like the one you're going to hear soon.
Yeah.
Or it might be the energy and personality of someone like Brucey. It might be just trying to magnify and grow and kind of change the direction and make people understand how great an artist like Stormzy is, other than being famous or whatever.
Yeah.
It might be like being passionate about rap and pot of paper and what he means to rap and trying to magnify that. So it's just, I think, to summarize this, artists that we need and they need us in different ways for different reasons, basically.
That's dope.
That's a good way to put it, I think, innit? Is that a good way?
Good
Is
answer.
that good?
Yeah, that's good. Guys, is that good? Yeah. Awesome. Anything to add or?
No, that was
That's
good.
pretty much it.
I'll do
It's
some
over.
ad-libs. Yeah. Come on. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So obviously you would consider yourselves like a startup, as you said, which is to us over here crazy because, like, obviously the scene, I would think, in the UK is kind of like miles ahead of what it is here in Ireland. But as a startup or as people that have kind of come up through the industry in some form, what obstacles have you guys faced, or have you faced obstacles? I'm sure you have, but what would like kind of the major ones be?
Yeah, there's always obstacles. I think luckily there's been enough talent and excitement and music that pushes past a lot of those things. But, like growing up in East London, where we came from, it wasn't something that we thought could happen. Being able to run a label, being able to build an amazing team, work with artists at the level of talent that we are. So yeah, it definitely feels like there's just the same way people coming up in any sort of marginalised or more poor area in any major city have those struggles. I think we've had the same, but we've been lucky enough to be next to talent that's allowed us to really grow past that.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of similar challenges to everyone around the world, really, that come from a certain place, and it makes us more. But those challenges also give us a different drive, a different reason to push past those things, and more excitement, more determination. And another reason for us to try and be successful and give the artists what they need and work a bit harder. So,
coming obviously post 2020, everything that's happened in 2020, considering there's been a lot of buzzwords kind of thrown around. we're hearing a lot now about representation in this, representation in that. And for me, anyway, when I look at you guys, it goes past the point of kind of just being represented or just being like another person in a room and into the space of actually being the ones in positions of power. So for you guys, how important is that for you to not just be represented, but to actually be the ones making the decisions, to be the ones in those positions of power? Sorry, that a heavy question?
It comes with responsibility, and it comes with pressure. But I think that, like, I was talking to Jackie on the way here about the fact that, like, a lot of the journeys myself and my brother and a lot of the staff have taken have kind of touched different areas of the industry. So we have an understanding of what it takes to kind of come from certain spaces in life and try and be heard and try and make it. So I think that makes you come at things with empathy, makes you come at things with understanding. And yeah, you can look at things from a little bit more of a human space. It's not just a case of like us trying to make money or be successful for success's sake.
Yeah.
But we know that what we do matters. So we kind of, for me, it gives me extra energy and gives me kind of extra reason. And I think it's the same for a lot of the team. We know that like what we do matters to more than just us.
Absolutely.
It's about it, kind of being an example of certain things, being able to actually work and not just, just being aesthetic, like, and just being there just because we're ticking a box. It's like we still want to be as successful as every other label, but for the same reasons, but for deeper rooted reasons at the same time as well.
That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
Good. So I'm curious, what is one standout moment in your career so far? What is, if you to mention one thing that you're like, that was dope, or that was, like a moment in your career?
I can never, ever, ever just say one. There's tons of like, the first person I ever worked with at a record label was Tinchy Strider, and we grew up in the same area. And then the first time that I worked on his career and project at a label, he went to #1 with a song with Dappy. And then there's so many moments, man, like working with international artists, having a ton of fun with Big Shaq when we did Man's Not Hot and that traveling the world and that being like a real cultural moment. And working with gigs and having Drake fly in to come on stage with him.
Like, insane.
And then this, I think, 007 Def Jam, like having the opportunity to create a company and space for amazing executives, amazing artists. Again, you don't come into the industry, particularly where we're from, thinking that that's even, you think it's like Simon Cowell and then everyone else. And then Westlife. I love Westlife.
Our national treasure.
Yeah. But you never assume that you're going to have any type of influence. So, like, it happened gradually, so sometimes you forget, but it's definitely a massive thing to be able to build a company and space where you get, like, the opportunity to make Stormzy even bigger, or more people hear about Debbie's incredible voice, or more people get excited about what Brucey does and Tendai, and then the amazing team we have, and watching them grow and become who they should be, and being responsible for that and helping that happen is... So yeah, I hope there's more to come, but there's been
100%.
I can't think of just one.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. Final question then before we move on. Obviously, this event, like the main aim of this event, is to kind of connect the dots between what's happening in the UK and Ireland. And I think Officer actually said it best. If he's out there, Officer, shout out. Ireland, we kind of consider you guys, and we are kind of considered as the noisy neighbors. We're making noise. The scene right now, it's up and coming. People are actually, there's like a certain sense of energy in the air. There's like a buzz happening right now. And I feel like in terms of like the scene, we're a couple of years behind you guys. But what's your vision for the future of, I'm going to say the British/Irish music industry, because it's kind of intertwined. Yeah, it's kind of intertwined at this stage. So what's you guys' vision for the future? Like, what do you see?
I feel like more artists being able to be heard, being themselves. I feel like in like the journey that we've taken in especially in like black music in the UK, a lot of artists have had to adapt and change. But I feel like now artists can embrace their heritage and marry it with who they are and where they're at. So you can have, I love the kind of Nigerian Irish combination of music that you hear.
Yeah.
And you just hear cultures kind of clashing on songs in like amazing ways. Like, and I think that is something that hopefully keeps happening from a point of view of just the music being as authentic as possible and not having to kind of adapt and change to become successful, but people being successful on their own terms.
Yeah, yeah.
And people being successful, being who they are, not having to change to try and kind of create an economy around around what they're doing, etc. So just as much authenticity as possible, really.
Dope.
Hopefully.
Dope.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I fully agree. Yeah, it's exactly that. Yeah, man.
Dope. Guys, give it up for the twins one more time. Good job. Thank you so much, Alex and Alex.
Thank you. Amazing job.
Thank you.
Thank you.